Randy Rain here, and I have a robot from the 80s that looks like it just stepped out of a Pixar movie. So let's check it out. This is
Randy Robot Garage.
So yeah, this looks to me like something straight out of a Pixar movie. The shape of it, the round and the bubbleness. It's not really something that you saw in 1980s robots. This seems like it comes later, but the earliest one I can find is from Japan, of course, and it was in 1986. Now, later ones, I guess, are made in other places because this one is made in China. I've seen others that are made in Hong Kong. But they're the same robot. They're just made in different places, I guess, at different times. The other thing I like is it has a pretty neat little drive system here. That's kind of impressive. It's a lot different than just your reverse turn and forward go, which is what this is. But it does it differently. The control is hard to figure out. How do you get the thing off of here? But there, he pops off like this, and his head opens up. And here's the wire. And so, yeah, it's forward, straight, back, turn. There's the on and off here. And the battery door is here. And the battery door has a screw on it. So you have to take this screw out. And it's actually a pretty long screw, oddly enough. They didn't mess around on this thing. And then you slide that out, and it takes two AA batteries. But when I put the batteries in, and I turn this on, the R24 Robot Rover doesn't seem to be doing anything. I move the batteries, make sure they get good connection. See, we're still not doing anything. So yeah, let's open this little fellow up and get it working again, because I really like the R24 Rover Robot. 3 screws on the back, I see. Okay, there's some random weights in here. Well, that's interesting. I guess hopefully they were here. Okay, this is quite impressive actually. So the head is going to be moving. It's on some crank here. And the arms, they're obviously going to be moving as well. And hopefully that's a safety thing. Pretty sure that's a safety thing. Interesting, it has these weights here. These wheels are going straight through. Okay, so the head comes off. Got wires going to the motor and to the batteries. Okay, so it looks like the motor is going to gear down, end up turning this, which is going to make that spin around, which is going to make this thing wobble back and forth because of this offset circle here. And so that's going to move, and then that's riding against these arms here. And that's what makes them go back. Let's see, let me take this off. We got a spring on there. We can take these arms off. And no safety, so you probably shouldn't be clicking those. It's extremely fine too, so it's probably meant to do it. You can see how fine of tooth it is. Alright, so keep going. That sets on a shaft there. Okay, so the gears, this one. That one's connected to here. I guess you slide that off. Okay. And that falls. Interesting. And this is a slip gear. Okay. That's what's holding those wheels on. And there's this. Interesting. So I have this new power supply I put together. This was just a power supply that put out like 15 to 24 volts. You can adjust it here. It's like 10 amps. And then I found this cool little circuit. And so I made a little box here. So I need to drop it down. It goes from like 1.5 volts all the way up to 12, I think. So I need 3, give it a little extra, 3.1 volts. And I put these little clips on it here. So now, I'll just test to see if this motor is turning. It is turning. And next I want to test to see if I just put power. Okay, that makes it turn off. So that switch is working. Something's not right in here. But since it didn't work with batteries, that means I'm not making contact here, so those have to be cleaned out. Go ahead and desolder everything. Ooh, it's rotten over here. Alright, for the ones that are still good, they can go in there. Glue this stuff. So, of course, and that would be your 8-tooth gear. So I got a few of those laying around. Okay, so now I need to look at this wheel. This is kind of different here. Alright, I don't see how you get this off because this section here is part of this. It doesn't come apart or anything. It's all one piece. So that means this has to slide this way, and of course it can't because these are too big. So popping this off does nothing, even if I got the other side off. So it seems like the pin has to come out. And that is how it's done. Because here's just this idle wheel. Here's the wheel that actually makes it go. I don't know how you get it out, but there's another little 8-tooth gear in here that turns this one that was on the shaft this way. Oop. I don't like that, but does that pop out? I think that got glued in there maybe. And of course it's split as well. The split gear is a little stubby, so I'm going with this one. I don't think it needs this lip. It's going to go on here, and that's going through and turning this. So the tire is rotted away. So I need to find an O-ring that will work. I believe that's the winner. Well, before I can put it together, I got to remake this because that had all rotted away. So I have a brass sheet here. I'll just put it. Okay, so now this has to go into there, and then this goes in, and I think it goes, how does this little spring system work here? So I figured it out. This tab has to go in right here to go against that. Okay, go ahead and solder this back. You gotta put this wheel on here first. Alright, this is a bit tricky to put together. This is my third time, so this is how you do it. So this gear is going to go here. This long shaft. It's attached to here, but this one spins. And you got to make sure you get this one in as well. Like that. Now, this little tab has to go in like, where is it? Yeah, it's got a spring like that. And once you have it this way, you gotta take this 8-tooth gear and get it started. And push it onto the shaft. Then you gotta put this gear to there. And this idle wheel has to go here. Then you turn it to here. Now you can place the shaft in. Lining everything up. This little wheel can be tricky. And you can set the shaft. So now it works. There's one more gear that goes up top, right here. That goes like this. And then this has to slip underneath that crown gear. And now this can get placed in. Let's see. I think the arms needed to go next. And then this went here with a spring and this screw. Okay, and this slips in like that. This needs to come up like that. Head. Okay, it slips on like that. There we go. Now, before I get too far, I need to go in here. So everything looks pretty good. What's happening is positive is coming down and it's coming to this plate right here. Negative is coming to this plate up top. And then there's two metal arms this way, and one is connected to each side of the motor. So right now they're being pushed down onto this plate. So both sides of the motor are getting positive electricity. And then when you push one of these, it lifts up off of the positive and getting grounded now. So now this side of the motor is getting negative. This side is still getting positive. And then over here, if you push up on this one, it breaks positive off of here, so only this side's getting positive, and now this side is getting negative. So I don't see anything broken in here. Okay, I am quite impressed with this robot. Not only just because it looks cool and it looks very modern, but it's different. Now normally when you have a forward and back robot, it goes forward straight and then it turns as it goes backwards, and that's how you get around. This does not do that. First of all, you have an on switch. This on switch doesn't turn everything on. I'll show you what that does in a minute. If you look at the drive wheel in the center, it's very similar to a dingbot on how the dingbot works. Very similar. And there was nothing to change it going backwards. So it goes backwards straight. No problem. It does not turn at all. And there was nothing in there to make it turn. There's no one-way wheels here or anything like that. Now when you go forward, it turns, and you can make it go straight. Okay? You can mess back and forth with the button. But let me show you why it's different. If you take this wire and you wrap it up like this, you can open its head, stick the wire into there, close it up. The control mounts to the back just like this. And now when you turn this switch on, it's a regular bump and go robot. It seems like it has a mind of its own. What a curious little robot. I really like it. It's going up on the wall in my collection. This one is mine. There's also some different colored versions of this, so I'm going to keep my eye out for more of these little guys. I like them. Anyway, if you liked R24 Rover Robot, I sure would appreciate a like. If you want to see more like this, of course, hit the subscribe button. These are patrons, these people right here. These are people who've been helping me out. Could not do it without them. I appreciate them oh so very, very much. If you'd like to become a patron, of course, there is a link below. There are perks. Anyway, R24 Rover Robot, that was
Randi Robot Garage.